Good morning, students. It's me, Miss Sania, your Pakistan Studies teacher, and today we are back with the part 2 of water transportation. As you all know that we have completed the water transportation and advantages and disadvantages of it. So today we are starting with air transportation. We have already covered about the railway transportation, advantages and disadvantages. So we are moving towards the air transportation. All right. So before moving forward, hurry up, grab your notebook along with pencil and pen and start noting down so that you can see very clearly that what exactly the content is written. Now, we have already spoken about the advantages of air transportation. We have already spoken about the advantages of air transportation in the previous slide. So now we are taking a start with the disadvantages of air transportation. Point number 2, the operating cost is greater in comparison to the other modes of transportation. Point number 2, the operating cost of aeroplanes are higher, and it involves a great deal of expenditure on the construction of aerodromes and aircraft. Yes, of course, they needed a great investment to do so. Number 3, the aircraft have small carrying capacity and therefore these are not suitable for carrying bulky and cheaper goods. It means that if you want to carry the bulky goods, then of course you cannot go through air transportation. Air transportation is unreliable as it depends on the weather forecast. Yes, of course, if the weather is not good, so you cannot rely on this transportation. Air transportation requires huge investment for construction and maintenance of aerodromes. It also requires trained, experienced, and skilled personnel, which involves a sustainable investment. It means that you needed a higher amount of money to do so. Now comes on the advantages and disadvantages of road transport. Road transport is a very popular mode of transport used by suppliers and businesses to deliver orders. Road transportation is one of the most cheapest, and you can say that it is one of the most convenient way of transporting goods from one place to another. Many transport companies provide scheduled delivery days and next day delivery services depending upon your needs. Alright, advantages of road transport: it is cost effective, it has fast delivery services, it is ideal for short distances, national or mainland Europe. Ideal for transporting perishable, for example, fruits and vegetables. It means that you can transport bulky items from one place to another very easily. It is easy to monitor and locate the location of goods. It is easy to communicate with the drivers, and it is ideal for sending by courier shortages to the consumers. Now let's come upon the disadvantages of road transport. Road transport subject to traffic delay. Obviously, if there is an incident which have occurred on road, then it will cover around like hours. It will take hours to transport one good to the other place. It transports subjects to breakdown, goods susceptible to damage through careless driving. You have to be very vigilant and you have to keep an eye on to the destination, because if, for example, if it happens this way, that if the driver is careless, that any accident can occur. It is unstable for long distance and bulky traffic, and in bad weather you cannot go or you cannot travel to the long distance places. Driving regulations can cause delays, yes, of course. And then when I talk about highways or motorways, so you cannot exceed the speed. You have to keep your speed slow and you have to follow the procedures. Now let's talk about the advantages and disadvantages of water transport. Well, this is the chart of water transport, which you can see it is very clearly indicating that what comes in land. Land is associated with rivers, lakes, and canals, which is subdivided, and then all the three categories, you're using boats and you're using steamers to travel from one place to another. Then in the other category, you can see ocean. Ocean connects with the coastal shipping in one category, and in the other category, it is the overseas shipping. Overseas is further subdivided into liners, trams, and tankers. It means that which kind of mode of transportation, or which kind of you can say that equipment, or which kind of thing which you're using to transport the goods. All right. Liners, it means the cargo ships on which there are bulky, heavy items which have to be transported to one from one place to another. And yes, in the other way, it also includes the passengers. When I talk about coastal shipping, that coastal shipping is for cargo as well, and it is for passengers as well. All right. Advantages of water transport. It is dependable, that you can depend on it. It is better organized. It has high speed over long distances. It is suitable for bulky and heavy goods. It is cheaper transport. And yes, safety precautions are taken in water transportation. It has large capacity. It is also used for public welfare purpose. And yes, administrative facilities of the government are also given to water transportation, and you are having an employment opportunity. You're not only having employment opportunity in water transportation, you're having employment opportunity in all the means of transportation. Disadvantages of air transport, sorry, disadvantages of water transport. Mistakenly I have written air, otherwise it is water, not air. Okay. Huge capital outlay, it means that you needed a higher amount of investment for this purpose. It has lack of flexibility. It is not lack of door-to-door service. Obviously you cannot move to the ship to your door-to-door service. Okay. It is unstable for short distance and small load. It means that it is unstable for the short distance spaces and for small loads as well. And yes, you are having the booking facilities, formalities as well. First you have to book your flight, or first you have to book and register, or you have to do the booking first, either if you want to transport the goods, or either if you want to travel from one place to another, in both the cases. Okay. No rural services are provided over there, and yes, it is centralized administration as well. Now, in SLO number 6.3.3, you have to locate on the map of Pakistan Kemari Port, Port Qasim, and Gwadar Port, and the cities with international airports. So, the assignment for today is number one, why is water transport important within Pakistan? Question number two, access the advantages and disadvantages of road, rail, air, and water transport within or outside Pakistan for both goods and people. Number three, locate on the map of Pakistan Timari Port, Port Qasim, and Gwadar Port, and the cities with international airports. Last question, how is water transport contributing in the economic development of Pakistan? So, I hope that you really like this presentation. You have to complete your assignment, and then you have to post the assignment under my instructions on KP. If you're having any questions related to that, so definitely you can ask me on KP. And I hope that all of those queries which were into your mind are definitely cleared after this presentation. Inshallah, I'll meet all of you with another presentation. Till then, take care. Barakallah. Allah Hafiz.